Have you ever wondered how something as simple as watching TV after dinner could be raising your blood pressure day by day? It sounds unlikely, but sometimes the most familiar habits carry the quietest risks. Today, I invite you to listen to the story of Margaret, a 67-year-old woman from Ohio, as we uncover an unexpected truth about the humble TV remote.
Hello, doctor. My name is Margaret and I'm 67 years old. I live in Ohio with my husband and our little dog named Peanut. Every evening after dinner, my husband and I usually sit down and watch a bit of TV, just a simple way to relax. Sometimes it's a family movie, other times it's just the local news or one of my favorite cooking shows. Everything seemed perfectly normal until a few weeks ago when I started noticing something a little strange. Every time I check my blood pressure in the evening, usually about an hour after watching TV, it's noticeably higher. And the next morning, even though I've had a full night's sleep, my blood pressure is still higher than usual. I haven't changed my medication. I haven't been eating more salt, and I still try to go for a walk every morning, just like my doctor told me. So now I'm starting to wonder, could watching TV after dinner be the reason my blood pressure is going up? It sounds odd, I know, but I'm honestly concerned. I always thought watching TV was harmless, especially since we're just sitting there quietly, no stress, no arguments, nothing too emotional. But sometimes I do watch the news, and those stories can be pretty upsetting: violence, accidents, heartbreaking events happening around the world. I've noticed that after watching those segments, I often feel unsettled or find myself thinking about them long after. I don't know if I'm overreacting or if this is something real that I should be paying attention to, but I truly hope you can help me understand it better. Because if something this small can affect my blood pressure, I doubt I'm the only one going through it. I imagine there are many others around my age with the same evening habits, and maybe they deserve to know too.
Thank you, Margaret, for sharing such an honest and relatable story. Your question isn't just thoughtful, it's actually quite important. The truth is, many people over the age of 60 have the same evening habits, and a lot of them are quietly dealing with rising blood pressure without really knowing why. Now, let's break this down together. An increase in blood pressure after dinner can come from a chain of small factors, and watching TV can definitely be one of them, especially if it's something you do regularly every evening. First, there's the matter of being sedentary right after a meal. After we eat, our body starts the digestion process. At that time, more blood is directed toward the digestive system to support it, which means the heart has to work a little harder to make sure all other organs, including the brain and cardiovascular system, still get enough blood. If we stay still for too long, especially in a passive position like reclining on the couch or lying back to watch TV, our circulation can slow down. That makes it easier for blood pressure to rise, even without us feeling anything unusual. Second, there's the effect of blue light from the TV screen. Our eyes, even as we get older, are still sensitive to artificial light, especially blue light. When we watch TV in the evening, that blue light can disrupt our body's natural circadian rhythm. It sends the wrong message to the brain, tricking it into thinking it's still daytime. This can interfere with sleep quality, and when sleep is disrupted, nighttime blood pressure tends to be affected as well. Third, let's talk about what we watch. You mentioned that sometimes you tune into news programs or reports with upsetting stories. That kind of content can stimulate the sympathetic nervous system, the part of our body responsible for the fight-or-flight response. When it's triggered, the body releases hormones like adrenaline and cortisol. These hormones speed up the heart rate, constrict blood vessels, and in turn raise blood pressure, And even if we don't feel consciously stressed out by what we're watching, the brain still registers it and reacts, often quietly. This is especially true in older adults, whose nervous systems can become more sensitive to subtle emotional triggers over time. There's also something else that often goes unnoticed. Daily habits help shape our body's internal clock. If you watch TV at the same time every evening, and the content mildly stimulates your nervous system, your brain and heart may gradually learn to respond with an automatic blood pressure increase at that hour. It sounds strange, but it's a real physiological pattern. To sum it up, watching TV after dinner isn't necessarily the main cause of high blood pressure, but it can be the tipping point, especially when combined with long periods of sitting, blue light exposure, and emotionally charged content. Over time, this small routine may quietly interfere with how well seniors can manage their blood pressure. Dear Margaret, and to everyone watching this video, it's easy to think that something as simple as watching TV after dinner couldn't possibly cause any real harm. But in truth, it's the small habits we repeat every day that quietly shape our health or our illness over time. First, we need to understand something important. Blood pressure isn't just a number on a screen. It reflects how our heart and blood vessels are functioning in real time. If your blood pressure consistently rises after dinner, even by just 10 or 15 points, that creates extra stress on the heart and circulatory system, like asking a machine to work overtime every single night. The most obvious long-term result? Losing control over your blood pressure. At first, you might only need one type of medication in the morning. But if your pressure rises each night and stays high until the next day, your doctor might assume your dosage is too low and increase it. However, if the real issue isn't the medication but your daily routine after meals, then raising the dose won't solve the problem. Worse, it could lead to unwanted side effects like dizziness, low blood pressure when standing, or constant fatigue. Second, sleep can be affected. Blue light, stimulating content, and emotional tension from watching TV all make it harder for the brain to produce melatonin, the hormone that helps you fall asleep. When your sleep is poor, your blood pressure doesn't dip the way it should during the night. And here's something many people don't realize. Nighttime blood pressure is like a resting point for your heart. If your heart isn't allowed to rest properly overnight, you may wake up feeling tired, with a headache, dizziness, or in some cases, still having high blood pressure in the morning. Another consequence, this one may sound subtle, but is no less serious, is how this habit can hide the real cause of blood pressure fluctuations. When blood pressure keeps spiking unpredictably, doctors have to spend more time trying to figure out what's going on. That often means more tests, more money, more stress, only to find out the culprit might be something as simple as a few hours of evening TV. And lastly, here's something I want to emphasize. Habits are rarely neutral. Some habits, if we don't pay attention, quietly nudge our bodies in the wrong direction just a little each day. But give it a few months, and you may find yourself far from where you wanted to be. For those over 60, your blood vessels are already less flexible, and your heart doesn't pump quite as strongly as it once did, so even small influences can have a bigger impact than we expect. Dear Margaret, and to everyone listening, the good news is you don't have to give up watching TV after dinner altogether. With just a few small changes, you can make a big difference in how your blood pressure behaves in the evening. First solution, replace the habit of sitting still right after eating with some light movement. Instead of heading straight to the couch and turning on the TV, take 10 to 15 minutes to move around a bit. You could walk around the house, clear the dishes, wipe down the table, or water your plants. Simple, gentle activities like these help keep your blood flowing, support digestion, and reduce the chances of a blood pressure spike after eating. Second, if you still enjoy watching TV, be mindful of the timing and environment. Ideally, wait at least 30 to 45 minutes after eating before sitting down to watch. This gives your body time to complete the first phase of digestion without putting unnecessary pressure on your circulatory system. Also, pay attention to your seating posture and room lighting. Avoid lying back on the couch with your neck bent and legs stretched out. Instead, choose a chair with good back support, sit upright, and turn on a soft ambient light in the room to reduce the effects of blue light from the screen. Third solution, choose gentle, relaxing content in the evening. This may sound simple, but it's incredibly effective. Light-hearted comedies, cooking shows, or peaceful nature videos can help calm your nervous system. Try to avoid intense news, action movies, or anything that makes your heart race or your stomach tighten. Remember, your emotions and blood pressure are directly connected, especially in the evening. Also, if you're watching content on a smart TV or tablet, be sure to turn on the blue light filter in the evening. This helps reduce eye strain and allows your brain to produce melatonin more effectively, which supports better sleep. Here's another tip I often give my patients. Use TV as a reward after movement. For example, after dinner, take a 10-minute walk, then treat yourself to one episode of your favorite show. This creates a positive cycle: movement, relaxation, better sleep, more stable blood pressure. And lastly, if you're keeping track of your blood pressure daily, consider writing down the time you measure it, along with what you were doing beforehand. This can help you and your doctor spot patterns and better understand how your habits are affecting your readings. Remember, no one's asking you to live strictly or give up the little joys in life. All it takes is a bit of awareness and a few gentle adjustments, and your body will thank you with healthier numbers day by day. Dear Margaret, and to everyone watching this video, if there's one thing I hope you take away from our conversation today, it's this. Blood pressure doesn't only respond to medication, it responds to habits. We've clearly seen how watching TV after dinner, if not done mindfully, can trigger a chain reaction of effects. Sitting still after eating slows blood circulation and can raise blood pressure. Blue light from screens disrupts your body's natural rhythm. Emotionally stimulating content can silently stress your heart and nervous system even if you don't feel it at the time, and when this happens day after day, it quietly chips away at your ability to manage your blood pressure effectively. But here's the good news. You don't need to change the whole world, just a few small habits right inside your own home. So, I'd like to leave you with 2 simple but powerful tips. After dinner, don't sit down right away. Take a few minutes to tidy up the kitchen, walk around the house, or even just stand and chat with your loved ones. Your body needs gentle movement to help stabilize blood pressure and support digestion. If you choose to watch TV, go for heart-friendly content and limit your time. A calm, feel-good program for 20 to 30 minutes in a softly lit room is more than enough to help you unwind without disrupting your body. And please try to avoid negative news before bed. That's one kind of mental meal your heart doesn't need to digest late at night. Managing blood pressure isn't just about pills, it's about the daily choices you make. A small change today could lead to a major step forward for your heart health tomorrow. If you found yourself thinking, "I had no idea something as simple as watching TV could affect my blood pressure," then welcome, you're definitely not alone. Maybe today, Margaret's story sounds a little like yours. Or maybe it reminds you of your partner, your parents, or someone close to you. And if you're sitting with a similar question, whether it's about blood pressure, sleep, medication, or just everyday life, at this stage, please don't hesitate to leave us a comment. We read every single one, and sometimes we respond faster than your heart rate during an action movie. If you found today's video helpful, feel free to hit that subscribe button. Each week we share new videos, simple, thoughtful, and always designed to help you care for your heart and your health. Because at the end of the day, blood pressure waits for no one, and neither do our next videos.